today, Hong Kong Blu-rays goes to Korea for My Dear Desperado.
Welcome to HKB. I'm Shaz.
And I'm Leon. So, this film was recommended to us by our good friend Huss over at A Touch of Film. And we don't often on this channel deviate much past Hong Kong, but sometimes we do like to go a little bit beyond Hong Kong and have a look at some other films, you know, sometimes Asian, sometimes other. And this one is a South Korean movie, and we do like quite a lot of their films as well. And as Huss have recommended it and give it such a sounding endorsement, we thought we've got to get this, you know. So every now and again, that's, you know, part of our appetite that needs fulfilling. And we haven't seen a really, really good Korean film since, I'd say, Parasite. So, took him at his word. We got this lovely, lovely Bud Blue box, which if you want to see that uncovered a bit more on our last collection update, we unboxed it a little bit on there. But if you want to see in more detail and better done, we'll leave a link so you can go to A Touch of Film, and Huss does an absolutely amazing job on that one there. A little bit of background on this film, or a bit of a synopsis I should say. The story centres around this young woman who lives in sort of a rural town in Korea, and she wants to better herself, and she's just come out of university. She moves into Seoul, and she's got this really good job. She has this really seemingly amazing boyfriend, and everything seems fantastic. Then all of a sudden at once the company goes bust and she loses her job. Her boyfriend goes off because he's got a job somewhere else, and she's kind of left by herself, and she ends up moving into this apartment in a rather run-down looking building in a more seedier part of town. And that's not giving a lot away. That really does happen at the beginning. And it turns out that her rather rough-looking neighbour is a bit of a hoodlum, I'd say. You know, works for some sort of gangstery type, but more just like general hoodlums. And she's becomes a bit afraid of him, and the film focuses on a relationship that builds up between the two of them, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, words from you on what you thought of this recommendation. Did Huss did he sell us a good one here?
Well, I would say most definitely. Yeah, I mean, we went into this film not really knowing too much of what it was about, because quite often I like to go into a film and just go with the ride rather than, you know, having an expectation as to what the story's about. So it was nice to just go with the ride of the film, and yeah, I was completely blown away. I just loved it.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, it's not often a film takes me by surprise like that, but this one really did. I felt the storytelling was impeccable, and the performances, they were so good, weren't they?
They were.
I mean,
Fantastic.
the two actors we got, Park Jung-hoon, if that's how you pronounce it. He plays the like hoodlum neighbour, and the girl is Jung Yoo-mi, and them two alone are incredible.
Yeah.
And there's such a chemistry between the two of them. You know, you really feel it. I think.
Yes, I'd agree. Yeah.
The way it was shot, the way the storytelling was told, that wasn't like melodramatic, which a lot of these films fall into that pitfall, and it can make it a bit too saccharine. But this, the balance, it was just sublime. I was just absolutely gobsmacked at how well they were. You know, director is Kim Kwang-sik, and masterful. Really masterful.
Yeah.
I was so impressed with this film. You know, if you've watched the channel a lot, guys, then you know by now that I really love my dramas. You know, I love Wong Kar-wai, you know, Jong Yimou, all those films, and this director to me was kind of delivering on that kind of level.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this after we watched the film, because I think the night before, I can't remember what it was now, but we watched something else that we felt completely detached from. And this one, you really felt the characters build throughout the story, so you became really attached to them and felt all the emotions that they were going through. Yeah, do you think that's how you felt as well?
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to admit, I had a lump in my throat quite a lot.
Yeah.
And when I smiled in this, I was smiling with them. You know, there's just for instance, I don't want to ruin anything in the film, but there was a scene where he'd stolen her umbrella and she was going for a job interview, and because she got there absolutely soaked, she looked not very presentable and therefore wasn't a candidate for the job, and she was really cross with him about it. And there's another point where she's got another job interview and she doesn't have an umbrella and it's raining again, and he sort of says to him about, oh, I'm going to get soaked, and he's like, well, I haven't got your umbrella this time, and she said, no, I left it at the last job interview. So he's kind of a bit gruff and rough and says, oh, well, give me some money, I'll go and get you an umbrella now. And she's a bit, you can tell she's a bit dubious about it, but she hands over the money in good faith, like, and he dashes off, doesn't he, running in these like clogs or whatever it is, and you know, not really prepared for the weather. And you see him slip up, and it looks like he knocks himself out.
Yeah.
And she's like stood looking like down the hill from where they live, thinking, oh, he's not going to come back, is he? And you as the viewer thinking, he's not going to come back, is he? And it gives a nice, just a right length of pause for you to doubt whether, and all of a sudden you see him like running up the hill again.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic. She sort of, she gets the umbrella and goes, and he's like stood there by himself thinking, oh, nobody notices when I do something good. He goes, oh, she didn't even say thank you. And then as she's going down the road, she stops, turns around and goes, oh, thank you. And the smile on his face. You not seen him smile, I don't think, until that point. And it was worth a million words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute magic.
Very emotional, very touching scene. I think we found that there was quite a few nice little touches, you know, between the two of them, just really sweet.
Yeah, there's a million magic moments in this one, guys. If you do like your Korean cinema and you do like a good drama and you like something full of character, and also if you like a really, really nice lavish edition, we'd recommend this one. We'll definitely put links for it. And do you think we're going to score this one now?
Yeah.
You ready?
Go for it.
Yeah. This for me, I'd say the best film I've watched so far this year. Gets a solid 10 out of 10. How about you, Shaz?
Well, I completely agree. I was completely blown away by this film, and I'd agree with what you just said, that it's the best film we've seen this year. So for me, it's a 10 out of 10 as well.
So there you have it, folks. First time on Hong Kong Blu-rays. 2 10 out of 10s, and I feel it was well earned on this one.
Yes, love this film.
And we'll not go on and on about the package, you know, go and have a look at Huss's video, but suffice it to say, you got everything. There's a lot. There's
lovely.
5 stars. So we hope you enjoyed this little review. Sorry for interrupting ourselves, folks.
If you fancy picking up a copy of My Dear Desperado, we will leave a purchase link to the Bud Blue website below.
Thank you. Of us going outside of our comfort zone. If you did and you'd like to leave a comment, or if you've seen the film and like to leave a comment, please leave one below or contact us at hongkongbluerays@gmail.com. Thank you for being on board with us, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time. And remember, folks, be true and buy the blue.